you're saying the VP, Troy, never texted you about this machine and having another owner?
Not that I received, no.
All you received is, hey, can you pick up this machine?
Yes. I didn't assume that it was the last person I sold it to because I was confused on why they were reaching out to me. Like, owners can change. That's a long time. So I assumed him reaching out to me was because he couldn't get a hold of the current owner. That's not a uncommon thing.
Okay, fine. So then he texts you again after that 11-day gap. I definitely contacted my team to do this, did not know it wasn't done. What is the time deadline tomorrow? So I'm assuming that he sent you a text like, hey, the machine is still here. That was another opportunity. Why not try to figure this out?
She's calling me out of my name, telling me she knows my address. I just
Didn't you block her after she called you? And then you got the emails calling you out of your name.
Like I said, she was hostile, so I just wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, but you blocked her after the first call.
Correct.
It wasn't like you got a call, she yelled at you, and then, you know, you hung up, and then you started receiving some harassing emails, and then you blocked her. You blocked her after one call.
Correct.
If you can go back and do this over, what would you have done?
I just wouldn't get involved at all.
But you sold her something, and then you had it removed. You are involved.
My only defense is that she said she was in communication with members that worked at the location her machine was in. I don't understand why I was contacted. If I can go back, that's what I would say. I don't know. Figure it out on your own.
Okay. I'm going to open it up.
All right, Ms. Scoggins, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If she hadn't done anything, if she had just walked away, which would have been her right to do, you know, she doesn't have an affirmative obligation, at least I don't think so, to make sure you get it. It's a nice thing to do, but she didn't have to.
Correct.
If she had just said, goodbye, Troy, I'm out of here, your machine would have been gone anyway.
Okay, but here's the thing. If she would have done the rightful thing and told Troy in the beginning she didn't own it, once again, he would have contacted his on-site manager and found out who was operating the machine.
Right, but that would have happened about the time that you were contacted anyway. You were contacted on September 22nd.
Correct. But
Right.
she was contacted on the 13th.
That's
I
true.
would have been contacted a lot sooner than the time frame.
Right, but isn't this the manager and the property owner's fault for not saying to you, ma'am, if you come on October 9th, your machine is gonna be gone?
When I talked to him, what he explained to me, he said, oh, she came and got the machine, because I was going to put it out the next day. He said when he went there, she already had removed it. But he did tell me that if it wasn't removed, he was going to put it outside. He was like, but when I came, it was gone. So he said, so I didn't even have to put it outside.
Okay, we're going to excuse the parties while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you both very much.
We have deliberated and reached a unanimous verdict, which is, of course, on behalf of the two companies that you're here representing. Now, we have a unanimous verdict on liability. We do not have a unanimous verdict on the calculation of damages. And let me start by saying this was a difficult case for us because we all agreed, Ms. Bates, that even though it would have been nice, you know, and kind and neighborly to reach out to her, to give Troy her information, you didn't have an affirmative duty here. So if you had just ignored the text message, we wouldn't be able to impose legal liability. However, at the end of the day, you intervened, and we can't know what would have happened if you didn't intervene. So we all unanimously agreed in your favor on liability. The defendant is liable to you for moving your machine, which was not your property. We disagreed on the amount of damages, Ms. Scoggins, for a couple of reasons. First, we did our own judicial research on the amount of this machine, and we found a used machine of the same type available for as little as $1,900 online, one available for purchase today. So none of us were persuaded that you're entitled to recover what you've identified as the replacement price. In addition to that, Judge Tewelde and I believed that you bear some, a small part, but some of your own negligence here, primarily for not putting your name on the machine, for not complying with industry customs, for not registering it with the owner of the building. We think there's a little bit more you could have done. So we think that offsets a little bit of the damages. Judge Corriero disagreed. Judge Corriero believes that you didn't bear any part of the negligence here, so he wouldn't offset the award at all. So had it been up to Judge Corriero, he would have awarded you $2,800, which was the purchase price. Judge Tewelde and I believed that a more appropriate price would be $2,000 rather than $2,800. So, having all agreed that the defendant is liable for the removal of the machine, having not agreed on the amount of damages, majority rules for the amount of damages. So we find in your favor, Ms. Scoggins, for the amount of $2,000 as a result of this lawsuit. We wish you both the best moving forward.